All right. GM everyone, thank you for joining. We're live here. I am the head of project delivery at LiveArt, and today we're going to cover a couple of very exciting topics. First, we're going to go over our DeFi platform for cultural RWAs that just launched. We're going to show you how it works, what you can do right now in terms of trading, and also what is coming next on the platform. And lastly, we're going to review our roadmap, new features, new assets, new categories. There's a ton of stuff happening here, so we're very excited to share it with you. Before I move on to the next segment, we're going to quickly intro Andre and Boris. Andre, do you want to just say hello to everybody? I know a ton of people are already familiar with you, but just in case we have anybody new.
Sure. Hey guys, happy to be here. I'm doing most of the work related to product here, so we'll be happy to share the product updates and what's coming next.
Hey guys, I'm Boris. I'm the co-founder of LiveArt. Happy to be here as well.
Amazing, amazing. And while we get some more people to join us, if you haven't already, please share the stream. We try to do this as much as possible. I think the last one we did maybe 2 weeks ago. So we'll bring you something new every single week if we can. So quick context for anybody that is new. LiveArt is a DeFi platform for cultural RWAs. And what that means is that we really infuse with the utility of crypto assets like art and luxury, for instance, watches, to give them that ability to sort of trade, exchange hands, move in the market that crypto has. So for over 280 years, the art market has stayed in the same or very similar trending lines as it does today. And with LiveArt, that is absolutely changing. One, because we don't have opaque pricing. It's not kept by gatekeepers, and it's also able to kind of exchange hands at a faster rate through tokenization and blockchain. We focus exclusively on museum, institutional grade assets, with whether that is with art or luxury collectibles. Now on the platform, I'm going to really quickly show you what you can do. So here it is, our launchpad. And as you can see, we have a ton of stuff coming soon onto the platform, including new categories that Boris will share a little bit more about, like this wonderful Rolex. But in the way that the protocol is structured is that it all starts with initial asset offerings. And initial asset offerings are really your best entry to the asset because it will give you the best possible price. And we really connect this launchpad as well with our price database. So all of the pricing for the assets is transparent and it's based on the current market value, fair market value for that work. Meaning that there is no place other than LiveArt that you'll find a better price for this asset in a fractionalized state. So, we're super excited to bring it here. We also have very special rewards for initial asset offerings that you won't get anywhere else on the platform. So, one of the many reasons to participate. The next one we are hoping to have live by next week so that you can, start working and getting a feel for how the initial asset offerings take place here at LiveArt. Once the asset is sold, it comes into trading, and here things get pretty exciting. So as you can see now, we have Jeff Koons' Balloon Dog, which is one of Jeff Koons, who is an American artist who's had his highest auction record of $91 million and has a market cap close to $1 billion. So he's huge market. We have his first asset live here as this Balloon Dog, which is one of the most recognizable pieces. Once you come here, you can clearly see all of the stats on the asset, and then you can trade it. In the trading mode, you'll be able to have all the token price and trade volume. You'll be able to buy or sell your allocations. And then at the bottom, you'll get data points. Again, at LiveArt, we have the largest art price database in the world, and we are able to keep track of, one, the historical value for the piece, but also the new sales data that is coming in. Here you can also see different statistics on the pricing of the work. and the price difference, which Andre will actually tell us a little bit more about, because that becomes very important with the buyouts, which are coming. Down, you can get some more information about who Jeff Koons is, why he is so important, and also we'll always include the full high-resolution image of the piece along with the certificate of authenticity and some FAQs. Now, I really encourage you to come visit LiveArt's new DeFi platform. Just go app.liveart.io/trade to go to our trading section. And you can also explore the Launchpad. Just keep in mind that the assets are going to be launching on a weekly basis starting next week. So with that, I'd love to pass it on to you, Andre, to share a little bit more about the buyouts.
Sure, happy to do that. And I will share my screen and walk you through the thinking behind that. And probably there's going to be a lot of the things that you already see live. So just a quick recap of what's there. So Launchpad, right now you see in the live product, there is a number of assets out there coming soon, but we're going to launch them, as Lisa mentioned, starting very shortly. So there's going to be different options how you can purchase the fractions in different types of pack and different types of the products related to that. On the trading experience, there are more assets coming in. So Koons was one of the examples already live there, but there is going to be more assets coming to the trading platform. And the thing that actually is going to be next in line for us to release is going to be the buyout. Just as a reminder, buyout is something that you can find an explanation right now on the top navigation on the top area. Clicking on buyout, it will walk you through the high-level idea of how buyout works, which is any owner of the fractions can actually suggest to buy out the whole artwork by putting the collateral of these fractions together with stable coins and by creating the offer. And then this offer is going to be governed by the community with the ability either to reject the offer by purchasing all the fractions at the price that the originator of the offer put, or the offer will be automatically accepted in 4 days. So all the rules are here. Please have a look. It's already there in the live product. Please explore that. What we're going to add next, actually, these mechanics of doing the buyout. And this buyout I will show, for example, on how it may look like on Kusama. So the Kusama is traded on the secondary market, and there is a possibility to actually create a buyout offer to purchase the whole artwork. In this case, some of the tokens of RWA as well as stables might be used as collateral, which will give the total asset price, which is super transparent, and you can compare and see all the difference with all the data points we have here. So the suggested price, the buyout price of the asset, as well as the token value for the whole supply, as well as the net asset value of this underlying asset that's coming from our data source of the fair market value of the artwork. And then there will be a possibility to purchase the fractions to reject the offer, meaning that it may be the opportunity for owners of the fractions to actually get the fixed amount of USDC for each fraction they own if the whole artwork is buy out. And for those of you who actually want to participate in that and want to purchase the whole artwork, it's going to be the opportunity to purchase the artwork at a very good price. So all of this is going to be on chain, very transparent. So the mechanics are out there, and actually introducing this buyout mechanics will close the full loop on the life cycle of the fractions. Which is, as a reminder, the fractions are coming on the primary market on the Launchpad. Then they become available for trading on our trading platform. Then, if buyout is successfully accepted, the tokens, the actual artwork is sold to the new is kind of becoming is sold to the new owner, and all the current owners of the fractions have the chance to redeem the profits from the tokens they own. So it's closing the whole the whole life cycle loop around one asset, and we have a number of assets coming with the same mechanics. So that's going to be the next thing we're going to introduce. What's coming also next in line in terms of the product is going to be the market for borrowing and lending of the assets, where our RWA tokens might be used as a collateral to borrow the other assets like stables or ETH, for instance. So this is the open market that's coming, as well as we definitely know that for those of you who are owning the fractions right now, there is no easy place to look and see all your collection in one place, and this is going to be the section of my portfolio coming next, actually showing the full collection, and making it a bit more easy to understand what the current ownership of all the fractions is, as well as it will give the possibility to redeem the fractions, as well as get some collectibles coming as the part of the premium packs on the launchpad. So that's it. What's coming next? Just to recap, it's going to be buyout, lending and borrowing market, and then the ownership experience with portfolio overview.
And something I want to mention, just hearing you, Andre, say how everything works and walking us through all of the things that are coming. If you could stick to the top just for a second. So here you can see Launchpad, trade, borrow, and buyouts. If you wanted to do this with your asset in the real art market, you will have to be working with actually 5 different companies. So you would have to work with a primary market gallery. You would have to work with an auction house to sell it in the secondary. You'll have to work with someone else, like a bank, to borrow. For a buyout, you again have to work with an auction house or some form of reseller. And then for your portfolio, you'll have to work with a collection management company. So here you can now do everything in one place in a very transparent way that it's all in your control. And with that, I will go on to Boris, who is showing us what's coming next and how this is a super exciting time to be here at LiveArt.
Thank you, guys. Well, let me just say, and for those of you who went to Token 2049, you probably heard a lot of excitement about RWA tokenization, real world asset tokenization. It really was the talk of the town in Singapore, and it really is emerging, like I've been saying for some time, as the primary use case for blockchain, right? Asset tokenization. Of course, blockchain is pretty useful for various kinds of money-related purposes, right? So we all love Bitcoin as our store of value, as well as other things related to money. But then the other use case that appears to be dominant is real-world asset tokenization. Why? Well, you know the story, because it dramatically expands liquidity and audience for all sorts of assets. So what you can see here on screen, just a quick reminder of the size of the market, right? So the total value of tokenized assets by 2030 is going to be about $2 trillion, according to McKinsey. But the reason that I really wanted to drill into this particular chart is to show what are the waves of tokenization. The first wave, which is what you hear a lot about right now, is cash, mutual funds, loans, securitization, bonds, etc. Right? So a lot of companies are doing that. Now we're moving into the second phase, which is where we play, right? Alternative assets and related things. So alternative assets means if you go here at the bottom, right? Real estate, carbon, art, collectibles. So that's us, right? So that whole thing is about what, $100 billion slice. This $100 billion slice, and the particular the collectibles and art part of it is what we want to own. This is what LiveArt company would like to be the key player in. We already are in the lead as this tokenization revolution continues to expand, right? So just to put it in the grand scheme of things, this is where we play. You heard us talk about the $10 trillion asset class. That's what art and collectibles are. So out of the $10 trillion asset class, about $100 billion is going to be tokenized in the next few years, right? So we want to be on top of it. This is really, this is why we're here. So we're already a leader here, right? You probably saw there was the BNB chain, and that's just one chain. You know that we're multi-chain, right? We're on 17 different chains, but from the BNB chain's perspective, we are one of the leaders, and the art tokenization, the space is not very crowded in this particular vertical as opposed to other verticals, right? So we have a great chance to be in the lead, to continue to be being in the lead, and that's just one chain, right? So you can see a chart like this on many different chains, and we want to be on all the chains where any kind of audience related to and interested in tokenization of real-world assets lives. So now to go back to what Luisa and Andrei have already covered, what's next for LiveArt? We've introduced a lot of things in the last couple of weeks, and we will continue this pace of innovation for the foreseeable future. So what are the main things that are going to be introduced? New assets. So you saw some of those in Andrei's presentation already. New asset classes. I'll talk about that in a second. New protocol features, new app features, and new partnerships, right? So all sorts of things that are going to be introduced in unison over the next in the next few weeks. So you already heard about new assets. Now let me cover new asset classes. We talked about watches, and then after that, cars and collectibles. So the watches are going to be introduced imminently, very soon. So we're really excited to bring a new asset class onto LiveArt, right? We've been doing fine art for a couple of years now. Now this is the time when we are going to start expanding into other adjacent asset classes to cover this entire $10 trillion asset class of collectibles. So, something to look forward to. As Andrei said, we're going to be launching 7 blue chip artworks that, they're ready to launch. We just don't want to launch them all at once. We want to do it one a week, as Luisa mentioned, to make sure that, we iron out all the issues that may or may not come up as we launch them one at a time, and really not to overwhelm our buyer community and trading community with everything at once. And then at some point during these next 7 weeks, we are going to take a pause from art and introduce a new asset class, which is going to be Rolex. You can see the picture of it here, and you'll know much more about it as we begin introducing it as part of our new asset class launch. So that's one. Second, buyout. And so that's a key feature, and you just heard from Andrei about that feature. And he did a fantastic job focusing not just on what it's about and how it works, but also on the fact that that's what really closes the loop between the digital world and the real world, right? Because the same asset could trade in the real world, right? So artworks can trade in galleries, auction houses, etc., and there is a price established there. And then it could also trade in the digital world, which is on our platform. And there is a price established there. In fact, you can see both of those prices within our product, because that's what kind of Andrei showed to you, right? On the same page, you can see both prices. Now, how do those prices and trading patterns connect? Well, they connect to the buyout. And that's really where the digital world and the the real world are connected. Why is that? Well, because the two prices cannot diverge very much, right? If you drive the price all the way down in digital, that becomes a great buyout opportunity, because you can buy it at that digital price and then sell it in the real world at an auction at a high price, right? So that's therefore there is always a pressure for the price to be equalized across digital and physical. And the same thing happens if the price in digital, right, on our trading platform goes too high up. Well, that means that it runs away too far from what the object is actually worth in the real world, and then there is a price correction in digital, right? So it all has to stay within a certain band related to how the object, the underlying masterpiece, if it's fine art, trades in the real world. And so it's very important And the way that that feedback loop really closes is through the buyout mechanism. That's why we're so excited about introducing it here. The second thing is portfolio. Right? We talked about our portfolio for some time in the context of the AI agent, the AI agent that helps you to really bring the portfolio together from various asset classes and various assets and construct the best performing portfolio. So this is something that is going to be introduced imminently as well. And then lastly, right, it's a couple of other things that I'm going to mention here. So there's Oracle integration. That's another way in which the real world and the digital world get synced up, right? Because through the oracles is where we take our offline prices for the asset, for which, as you know, we're the leader in publishing those prices. The whole art world is using our data for that. And we are bringing that on chain so that all of the DeFi protocols through this oracle are going to be able to use real asset prices in the real world for all of the DeFi applications, be that securitization, loan, borrow, stake, and so on and so on. So this is all of the various things that are happening on the protocol side, application side, new asset classes, new assets. Then on top of it, we also are, of course, introducing lots of new partnerships, right? Because this wonderful product and wonderful assets need to be distributed as widely as possible. So you will see a lot of news about the ecosystem expansion with BNB Chain, Arbitrum, Monad, and other key players in the ecosystem. So that means that more and more of LiveArt assets are going to be, and the LiveArt platform is going to be expanded to other ecosystem and blockchains. So that's one. And two, various integrations with other ecosystem players like DEXs, wallets, all in the service of increasing the distribution and the visibility of LiveArt assets, the assets that go through our platform and protocol on as many venues, on-chain venues as possible. So, and then down the line, there are a few other things that we're working on. I'm not going to talk too much about it because, this is a bit further off, but we are super excited about it. This is the stuff that's currently in the labs. There will be RWA index tokens. So not just individual assets, but entire, not so much bundles of assets, but indices based on specific slices through say, for instance, fine art, watches, and so on, right? So for the watches, it could be Rolex index that is tradable, or Patek Philippe index. For fine art, it could be Picasso index that is tradable. So that is exciting, right? Because it goes beyond just one asset into a much larger universe of indices across different asset classes. And then last but not least, on-chain funds and vaults. So those are really, you could think of them, I guess, in the traditional fine art, in the traditional in TradFi, in the traditional finance, that they would be called funds. Here we call them vaults because there is a whole bunch of different digital assets. Right now we publish them one at a time, but in the future will be bundled into these vaults, and then the vaults can be and will be tradable as a unit. So that means much higher liquidity, much higher price point, much higher probability, a much higher opportunity to leverage them in collateralization, borrowing, loans, and other mechanisms. So these are all the various things that are coming on board in the near future. Again, we're expanding across different vectors, right? Different asset launches, so 1 week for the foreseeable future, different asset classes, watches, and then others, in addition to fine art, different protocol features that are being added, and dApp features, and of course, partnerships that help us expand much beyond our current footprint across the DeFi universe. So exciting times, and all of that is on the background of the overall market growing. Kind of let me wrap up with this. So it's not just the top line number, right? It's also, which is very large, right? $100 billion just for the alternative asset class. It's also other things that are currently happening in the industry. Again, those of you who were at Token 2049 probably saw Vlad's speech from Robinhood. It was a full house keynote, right? Which basically declared that everything will be tokenized. Tokenization will eat the entire global financial system. This is happening, right? It's happening right now. What are some of the evidence that it's happening? You know that the Intercontinental Stock Exchange, which is the parent company of New York Stock Exchange, just announced a $2 billion investment in Polymarket. So that's another evidence in the same direction. You probably heard that Securitize, one of the tokenization platform for financial assets, just filed for a SPAC merger at $1 billion valuation. Probably heard that NASDAQ said that all equities trading on NASDAQ exchange will be tokenized and tradable 24/7. So there's just a ton of things happening every day in the RWA space. It seems like a rocket ship, and we are very happy to be, in the right place in the right time with our product and our protocol and our ecosystem, and of course our community, to take advantage and kind of ride this wave, take advantage of this wave as it takes over the crypto world. So that's exciting.
Amazing. Well, and on that very exciting and bullish note, we'll wrap up. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Stay tuned for more updates, and we will keep you posted on when the next one is. And check out LiveArt, app.liveart.io/trade. Thank you.